What up, everybody? Back with another one. Um, I want to talk about an important topic today that I think that everybody um, has, I wouldn't say has, but it's taking part of something and it's continuing to take part of something, even including myself. So I'm not excluding myself from this topic. I am very much so a part of this topic. And I just want to bring some awareness to a lot of folks out there who may think that they are not a part of this, but again, I believe everyone is a part of this. So, um, topic I want to talk about is control, and why is it so important to people, and why do people crave it so much? And I'm going to do my best to break it down about it being an illusion, the best way I know how. So, if at any point in this video that you feel like I'm being redundant or what I'm saying, just listen to the message and really hear me out. You know what I'm saying? Because when I make these videos coming straight from me. It don't be from no script or anything like that. It's just me talking, coming from a place of good, and no bad here. Just I want to be able to spread awareness as much as possible. So, um, I want to know why people crave, control so much. And in my version, I'm going to explain why I believe I crave control so much. Not to the point to where I'm not understanding to the other person or people, right? I'm not like that, but I think that what I've been taught is that I have control, that I crave control so much is because I want to be able to make sure that my life is in some kind of order, and I want to make sure that nobody causes me any harm, and I want to make sure that I have whatever I need. You know, not that I want whatever I need. You know, and outside of that, you know, I truly believe that I don't have I don't have any other desire to have control except for those things. Oh, and let me forget to mention, right? Is was my child, right? I think every parent out there who has kids have a desire to control the circumstance, not to overthrow their kids, but to give their kids an understanding, of how this world works, and to be able to control the situation to the point to where they can be able to take some morals and values with them when they get older. That way they can apply it to their lives. So when it comes to me being a parent, I want to have that control of my daughter's life because you don't want a kid to be. Um, I mean, well, first of all, you can do whatever you can do the best you can to take care of your child the best way you know how, and whatever else they decide to do with their lives is on them. But you want to be able to put your your teachings from your parents into your child with a little twist. So I want to be able to do that for my child, and hopefully that she can take on my teachings and apply it to her life as best way she know how. But yeah, outside of that, those things I want to be able to have control over, and also too, I can say that I want to have. I know it's kind of crazy, because as a kid, right, you don't care how you dress, but when you get older, you start to care how you dress because again, appearance, which I think in some way, shape, or form, that's an illusion also, right? But I've been taught to dress a certain particular way to be appropriate for when I go outside, you know. And if I can't control how I dress, I tend to kind of, in a sense, I kind of lose myself uh, because I want to, look decent. And my version of decent, right? Because everybody's version is different. But I want to be able to basically look decent, you know. to myself and to the other individuals as appealing. Not in a sexual manner, but just appealing, like, or that brother, he got it together. So yeah, yeah, I have those things, right, that I have an issue with sometimes. Oh, and also too, which I really hate this. I really hate this situation because obviously we're born into this. Is with the whole this. Um, I want to have control of my finances because I believe um, that nobody else is capable. I mean, I would say this: there probably is some people out there that's capable, but I have never given them any chance to show to prove to me that they're capable like I am, right? So I have issues with that. But I'll say this: is that I'm open. These things that I throw out, I'm open to relinquishing the control because, for one, everyone on this earth is connected in some way, shape, or form, whether it be positive or negative. They're connected, and you know, I'm open to it. As long as you don't cause me harm, or try to cause me hurt. You know, I'm open to it, but that don't mean I'm gonna relinquish it quickly because of what you said. You know, I have to be able to see the actions behind it, and I have to see them repetitively and continuously to the point to where I can put my trust into you. Because I know they always say don't trust anyone, right? But again, in some way, shape, or form, again, when we go out here and do what we do amongst people, we put in an ounce of trust. Not maybe not a lot, but maybe some, right? And to basically get having those people, putting the trust in those people to come through for things that we pay for. You know, and so in that regard, I want to be able to see that through and through, and for that very reason, um, that I think that I probably won't see it in this lifetime until I'm dead and gone. But those are issues that I have, and you know, I wonder if you guys can relate. Drop some comments down below and let me know what issues that you have as far as the control. Do you guys have the same issues as me? Do you have things that's different that you have issues on, or just let me know in the comments, man. I look forward to hearing you guys uh, you guys giving me your feedback on this. So again, like I was saying, like, why do people crave control so much? Why is there such a desire? Why such a desire for power? Over these things, right? I would say over these things, but over control. Because, like I said, with myself, I want to have the power to do whatever it is that I want to do as far as the control of my circumstance. And I think that whatever I want to have control over is not a lot. You know, I'm not in a place of wanting to hurt people. And I think that people who crave control, not everybody, but I think at least some, they want to they want to have that particular type of control to control the masses, or control a certain individual, or control a mini group of people. You know, just to say that I stood out, or not, I don't say that I stood out, but just to say they stood out. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think we're no bigger than each other. You know, um, but people, what they do is that they exploit themselves in such a manner to where they're too blind to see that this is bigger than them. You know, but we all been taught this way, and it's a sad thing to to pretty much want to have control. To me, it's no big deal to have control, man. You know, when you really think about it in this context, in the end, control is an illusion, man. It's really the teachings of what you've been taught. Because if you weren't taught this stuff, you wouldn't want to crave the control. You know, And I think that's where it comes from, the illusion. I think the illusion comes from being taught to control things. You know, I think just being on this planet and us as humans following a certain particular protocol on how life is what brings the control into play. You know, um, but again, it's all an illusion, smoke and mirrors, man. You know, so I really truly believe if people out here wasn't taught these things, they wouldn't do it. You know, but you know, I think when it comes to what you've been taught, you can unlearn. You can unlearn what you've been taught, you know, and relearn. Because I think that's all about. That's all what life is. It's about evolution, you know, and to basically ascending to what the person that you have been taught to what the person you truly can become. You know, you got to be able to relinquish the control. And I think there's a lot of people out here that don't want to relinquish the control or even share it. You know, they want to have all the control to to um, make things happen on their watch. You know, and if they don't have that control, they won't be themselves. And that's far from the truth because you're always going to be yourself no matter what. You know, before when you was born into this earth on this earth, you know, um, you were the person that you were before you've been taught these things. You know, but I know it's very hard for people to really understand that. I mean, outside of the teachings that you don't become that you're not the same person that you are. You are the same person that you are. It's just that you you have these teachings that you go by, and these teachings that you go by, you have big issues to relinquish it or to even share it. Like I said, you know, and it's really when you think about it as a whole, it's crazy. You know, it's crazy because in my humble opinion, we all are one. You know, we all are one, and you know, I wish that we can change. I mean, well, we can change it. We can change it. I just wish that I wish more people would be willing to change that because the direction that we're headed, we need to start. We need to start putting. We need to start putting our prides aside. Not stop, but start putting our prides aside. Because if we don't, um, we're gonna go down this hole that we don't want to be in, and we might be stuck in that hole forever. You know, if we don't do those things, right? Because again, together we're stronger. When you're singular, we're not powerful enough. You know, even the person that that craves and controls that want to have the control to basically have power, it's not beneficial to them. You know, in the end, and you know, I think it'd be beneficial for all of us. You know, I know it's a very hard pill to swallow, right? Because most people are like, man, I don't want nobody to help me control. I can control all this shit myself. But again, it leaves you in a dark place. To me, to be honest, you know, you don't find yourself in a good scenario, man. You find yourself in a world full of whatever you need, right? No, I'll go say whatever you need was whatever you want, and it ain't whatever you need, and it causes issues when you think about it because you be alone. You don't have nobody to connect to, and really the sad part about it is too. I wanted to add to this is that people would be they'll be they would be happy to die alone, you know, which you know again, you know, it's not ideal, right? Because we're all connected as one, but people will be happy, you know, to die alone because they want to control that. They don't want to. They don't want to have. They don't want to relinquish the control. They don't want to give it to somebody else that's going to be able to make it beneficial for them. They feel like, nah, it's all right, I got it. You know. Um, but you know, but think about this. When you're out in the world, like I said earlier, and you out, if you're doing shopping or if you're just talking to people or whatever, connecting with other folks, you're relinquishing control and not even knowing it. You know, you may not be releasing all of it, but you're releasing some. Because if that's the case, you'll be in a box and you wouldn't even come out. You know, you'll stay within yourself, and you wouldn't even have a desire to deal with people. And the thing is, there's people out there that don't have a desire to deal with people. You know, they will stay in their little bubble and, you know, be out the way and not deal with folks. You know, and again, that's fine too, to not cause any issues. But you know, I feel like even with people that want to be alone, they have a level of control that they want to have. You know, stepping outside of the box is something that people are not accustomed to doing because of the teachings of what they've been taught. And so, yeah, I just wanted to drop this on y'all, you know, because it was on my heart, and just want to know. I want to know why. You know, I want to know why people, uh, you know, want to have control so much. Why do they crave it? You know, what is the desire to have control over? Does control give you happiness? I'll say this for myself. Yeah, it gives me a small bit of happiness because I know for a fact that I can control my actions and how I deal with other people, right? But in the end, it doesn't give me true happiness because I like to share. I like to connect with people. You know, I do, and I hate that the world is the way it is. But we're in it. We're in it as a I guess as a lesson. You know, I may not truly know what we're here for, but I always try to discover what we're on this planet for. But I do believe in some way, shape, or form where the stuff that we deal with in life is like life lessons. You know, and I just hope it gets better. You know, I really hope it gets better because we need each other. We really do. You know, and yeah, of course, you got the bad apples in the bunch. You know, you want to separate yourself away from those folks because they might cause you harm, right? That's natural. It doesn't have to be, but it's natural. Um, them folks is that they need to go somewhere and help themselves, you know, to get right. And yeah, I believe that folks that that those folks need help. But as far as people who's willing to go out on a limb and to want to be different than what you accustomed to being taught, then try it sometime, y'all. Just try it. You know, you never know how you may end up. You know what I'm saying? But just give it a shot. So that's all I got. I'm gonna finish enjoying the rest of this beautiful day and look out here at this traffic like I've been doing, as y'all been seeing me do, because I've been looking out, making sure that nothing goes crazy out here, because you just never know with folks. But I'm gonna enjoy again. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this day. Go give me some to drink, and just be looking forward to seeing y'all in the comments, and us engaging and talking about this topic that I talked about today. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to share it. Don't forget to cut on the notification bell so you won't ever miss a video whenever I drop it. Um, and subscribe, if you haven't already, to be part of the family. Okay? So with that being said, you guys enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. I'm gone.